Happy Sunday, guys. I'm quite relieved. Man, I do not remember the last time I watched a Talladega playoff race where they didn't crash. Like, I know there was one wreck, but, it was early on, but, there was no demolition derby, millions of dollars being thrown out the window, just solid plate racing. Now, why is that? I don't know, but thank God it actually happened. I'm even more thankful that I don't have to sit here today and make another 20-minute video about safety, or someone getting a concussion, or someone flipping, or a car catching on fire, or someone making a stupid block that wrecks 20 cars and then everyone gets mad, or, just all that nonsense. What did happen at Talladega was some solid plate racing. Could it be better? Maybe. There wasn't a lot of three-wide racing. Maybe because of the car, the momentum, the top lane never came in, like by the wall, never came in. These races are so weird because the package has not changed, but every time you go to these races, the race feels different. I don't know why. Daytona felt different to Talladega. The first Talladega race felt different to this Talladega race. The Daytona 500 felt different to the August Daytona race. It's always different. I don't know why. If I had to put a rating on this race, I'd say a 9 out of 10. I take 1 point off for the sole reason of I would have liked to see 3 lanes. 3 lanes never happened, really, the whole race. It just never happened. There was never enough momentum, enough energy in the top lane to get going. But other than that, the pushing, the strategy, the chess match of trying to, stay up front, how the bottom lane wasn't better than the middle, and the middle wasn't better than the bottom, and how, and this is what I love most about certain styles of plate racing, there are certain drivers and certain cars that you can tell are the cars you want to work with, and then there are certain drivers and certain cars that you don't want to work with. And sometimes the line moves back because this guy's leading this pack, and sometimes the other line moves because this guy's in second place. When you see a Ross Chastain who's really aggressive and pushing, or you see Keselowski, or you see Chase Elliott, or you see Denny Hamlin, these guys, and I said right there, I said 3 of the best plate racers in the business, and Keselowski, Elliott, and Hamlin. You can tell when they are pushing or when they're leading something, they know what they're doing. They can lead that pack. They can push and do what you have to do. And that's my favorite style of plate racing. It's not the randomness of, and this is why I say, I take a point off because I wanted 3 lanes. Sky, shut up. No. Be quiet. It's not even wakey time, okay? Your only reason you're crying is because I'm talking. All right, I got to do the video. Calm. Anyways, what was I saying? So yes, I want 3-wide racing, but there is also that strategy that I like. If everyone gets a run, if the runs are crazy, the closing rate between cars is too high, and then it causes a bunch of wrecks because someone tries to block. Today, was it the fear of the cars and crashing? I don't know, because there was a lot of times where a certain driver could have pulled a block in the lead. If you're running on the bottom, you want to move to the top, yada, yada, yada. And they didn't do it. They didn't pull the block. Even at the end of the race, Ryan Blaney didn't pull the block. But even before that, there were not many guys that wanted to go control the race in terms of, I'm going to go to the top, and then I'm going to go to the bottom. And the pushing was iffy. It was dangerous because you could see the cars moving around a lot when they were pushing. But it wasn't, everyone seemed to have a level head. Everyone knew, let me just line up center, no offset, let me push. There was really no overheating issues, none of that stuff. So you just kind of line up, you push, you back off a little bit, you line up, you push. It's more of a gentle push. They know now you get the gentle push until the end of the race. We'll talk about the end of the race, but you get that gentle push, and you push, and you push, and you push, and then, sometimes it kind of just levels out, and you see the same thing lap after lap after lap. But then the really good plate racers can make that difference, and that's why you saw Ross Chastain up there a lot, because he was aggressive, and you have to be aggressive without wrecking, but you have to be aggressive to push. That's why you saw Chase Elliott up there. That's why you saw Ryan Blaney up there before the penalty. That's why you saw Brad Keselowski out there. He had a speeding penalty that harmed his end of race. Denny Hamlin always ever present towards the front. Eric Jones had a really good race today towards the front. And Eric Jones is an underrated plate racer. Guys like Bubba Wallace, I didn't really see him throughout the majority of the race. So that was a little bit of a surprise because he's one of the better plate racers around, but he was kind of non-existent the whole race. Anyone who decided to stay at the back, this race was your nightmare because they didn't wreck. So with 20 laps to go, if you were staying in the back for the first 150 laps, you still had 25 cars you had to go try and pass, and the third lane wasn't existent, so you're not going to do it. So You know, the guys at the back like Martin Truex Jr., they nothing, like just nothing. You know, Joey Logano, he knew he couldn't get up to the front. He probably wanted to get to the front, but there's nowhere to go. You just didn't make the move quick enough. And when you have to make, Dale Jr. was talking about this on the broadcast. If you want to get to the front, you have to go with like 60 to go. Like at the start of stage 3, you have to go. Like you can't wait. You can't wait till 30 to go, 20 to go, 10 to go. And so Logano was put in this like unfortunate circumstance where it's like, well, I hope they wreck. It's likely they'll wreck. It's above a 50% chance they'll wreck. They didn't wreck. So very, very impressive. And then the end of the race, there was a caution for Daniel Hemrick, who was stopped on pit road. It was the right call. Again, Twitter really pisses me off sometimes because it's just the epitome of just nonsense. You have people yelling at NASCAR, people supporting NASCAR. You guys talk about safety all week, and then you yell at NASCAR for throwing a caution because the car's stuck on pit road. We're in an area where if they wrecked through the tri-oval, you could have someone just slide down and nail it. It's just so stupid, but whatever. Right call. So unfortunately, you didn't get to go green the whole way and see how that would have played out. It was the typical green-white checkered. When you saw green-white checkered, you were like, yeah, they're probably going to wreck. But it was a clean green-white checkered, and it's because the majority of the race, again, no one was trying that third lane. That third lane never had enough momentum. And it was as simple as bottom lane goes, Elliott moves up, and Eric Jones, instead of, throughout the whole day, everyone would gently get up to them and, give that gliding push. Eric Jones just slammed him. Just slammed him straight. Center perfectly. And I don't know if Elliott dragged the brake at that exact moment to make sure that he didn't launch away, or if Jones was just able to stay on the bumper. But, they got locked on, and that pushed Elliott next to Blaney. Side drafting, typical side drafting stuff. Elliott is able to get clear from another push. Has the push that gets him far enough through the tri-oval, and he ends up winning at Talladega. And then that's, pretty much it. Like, there's not much else to talk about the race. There's no real crashes. There was one crash in the beginning of the race. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. was involved, as always. There was one crash at the beginning there, but other than that, nothing. There's one caution, I think, for a flat right front tire for Corey LaJoie. But again, other than that, nothing. So a very clean race. Strategy played a big part of it. Did you want to run the middle? Did you want to run the bottom? You had to come down pit road, get the right amount of fuel, yada, yada, yada. And, the NBC guys were talking about how you wanted a Ford to push you this whole time. And I thought that was a little bit over-exaggerated. In previous years, yes, I'd agree the Fords were best at pushing. But I didn't agree with this race. I thought the Chevys were fine. You saw Daniel Suarez. You saw Ross Chastain. You saw Eric Jones. You saw Chase Elliott. You saw Kyle Larson. You saw Gragson sometimes in the 48 filling in for Bowman. You saw William Byron up there. All the Chevys were up there. Tyler Reddick was up there as well. So it wasn't a matter of they couldn't push. They could. And the end of the race is the perfect example because that Eric Jones, when he gets to Elliott's rear bumper, he slams him. And if the whole pointed Chevy thing was a thing, Elliott should have gone sideways. Elliott didn't get sideways at all. I mean, it was such a perfect center cut hit from Jones, and then it was able to just push him the whole way through. And down the backstretch in the final lap, it looked the same, with Blaney having a Ford pushing him in McDowell and what's his name, Elliott getting a push from a Chevy and Eric Jones. They were both wiggling down the back straightaway because they were both getting pushed so hard. So it wasn't a Chevy having a pointed nose had really nothing to do with it. It was just who had a faster car. At the end of stage 2, you saw how strong Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson were when Elliott was just every time down the back straightaway, just shoving Larson through. They'd be 2 car lengths back straightaway, just shoves Larson through. And again, the leaders on the top lane didn't block them because, again, the blocking was more minimal today. It wasn't that much. Like, it was actually everyone was well behaved. So the end of the stages was solid, clean racing. The end of the race was solid, clean racing. Everything was solid and clean. Really, no complaints. Talk about the race results really quickly, but obviously I do want to talk about the points more. So Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, Michael McDowell, Chastain, Hamlin, Jones, Todd Gilliland with a great run. He was up there the whole day. Suarez, Cindric, Chase Briscoe round out the top 10. So that is your top 10 results. And let's go 11 through 20 as well. Castle, Byron, Dillon, Almirola, Haley, Wallace, Bell, Larson, Graxon, and Kyle Busch round out your top 20. Now, I did take a picture of the points because I prefer, even I know people on Twitter put the points right away, but NBC's graphic is always the best. So I always want the NBC graphic of the points. So I took a picture of that on my phone. So for the first time all playoffs, a playoff driver has won a race. It took a while. It took 5 races, but Chase Elliott wins. That's his 5th win. I don't know. He got 6 playoff points today, so, I think he'll go into the next round with 24. He'll have a lot. He'll have a lot of playoff points. He should make the Final Four. If he doesn't make the Final Four, that's pretty bad. So he should do it. It's everyone else I'm interested in. So Ryan Blaney, with his great result, gets plus 32. He is pretty much safe. Pretty much. Like, he would have to have a DNF in stage 1. And William Byron would have to win. And Cindric would have to finish in the top 10. And Briscoe would have to finish in the top 10. And no one else would have to have issues for Blaney to miss. So, yeah, Blaney's pretty much safe. Ross Chastain, also, plus 28. Pretty much safe. Denny Hamlin, not as much. Plus 21. It's a good position to head into. Logano, again, he didn't... Where did Logano finish? He finished in 27th. Like I said, he couldn't get up to the front. Like, there was nothing he could do. So he finishes 27th, but he still is okay with an 18-point gap, so that's fine. Kyle Larson, again, fine. 18 points. That's a position you would like to be in. Daniel Suarez, plus 12. He has to be careful. Just have a solid top 15, top 10 day, and you will be fine. Chase Briscoe is strong at road courses. He's going to need to have a strong showing. And he will be one of the drivers that actually, and even honestly, you could say Logano and Larson as well. What they could do, just get the stage points. Just in stage 1 and stage 2, just stay out, get the stage points. That's it. After that, you only have to finish like 20th. I mean, it all depends. Again, like, the whole stage racing at road courses and the playoffs is so interesting because it depends. Is your car fast enough to win? That's always the situation. If your car is fast enough to win and you think you can win, you sacrifice the stage points. If you think you only have a 10th place car and you can't win, you just know it, you take the stage points. So if you're Larson, you're Hamlin, you're Logano, if you know you can't win, you have a plus 20 gap around there, you take the stage points, you're advanced. It's that simple. So just that would be my strategy for them if, they're not in contention for the win. Guys like Ryan Blaney and Ross Chastain and Chase Elliott, they could just sacrifice the stage points. They're fine. They could go for the win if they have the speed. Austin Cindric is 9th. He is below Briscoe, but they're tied on points. Again, Cindric and Briscoe are both really good road course racers. I know the Roval is not your normal road course, but Cindric and Briscoe, to me, would be likely to advance because they have good road course records. I would expect them to run well. They only need some stage points or a top 5 result to maybe jump Daniel Suarez. And so that could put Daniel Suarez in trouble. Possibly. We don't know. William Byron, who is usually pretty good at road courses, but whether it's strategy or he fades in the race or something happens, he usually doesn't get the result. Well, he's going to need it because of the penalty. He didn't get stage points today, and then he ended up finishing, William Byron ended up finishing in 12th. So he basically got like 13th and 11th in the stages and then 12th in the race. So he just, like an average day, but it wasn't what he needed. He needed the stage points. If he could have gotten the top 5 in the stage points, he would have been fine. But he doesn't need to win. He does need, and this is where it gets tricky. If you're William Byron, you have a very, very, very complicated situation because it's like, I can go ahead, and if I'm running in the top 5 in stage 1, I can gain 10 points or 9 points right there and make up the gap to Cindric or Briscoe if they decide to pit. That's going to be something like, if I'm William Byron, I have no idea what you do. I'm being straight honest. I don't know what you do. Do you sacrifice the stage points and go for the win if you have that speed? Do you take the stage points and try to risk moving up through the field in a car that usually at road courses, it's very difficult to move up through the field? So that one's really hard. That one is a tough position that I would not want to be in. Because if you want to win, you have to sacrifice your stage points. Like, you can't have the best of both worlds. You can't take the stage points. Shout out Hannah Montana. You can't take the stage points and also try to win the race, because you'll be restarting at, you know, if you take the stage points in stage 1, you'll be restarting 25th, 30th, whatever it is. You take the stage points to stage 2, you'll be restarting 25th or 30th. You're not making your way back up from that, especially when you got to go up against like guys like Elliott and Reddick and all those guys who are, you know, especially Elliott and both of them, Elliott and Reddick. If they are both very strong, they don't give a crap about stage points. They're just going to get the best track position, and you have to pass 20 cars in order to catch them. So a very, very difficult strategical position that I would not want to be the crew chief for William Byron in deciding what to do. For Christopher Bell, it's way easier. And Christopher Bell is a strong road course racer. He can do it. He has to win, so sacrifice the stage points. You can try to win. Alex Bowman, I don't think will race, unfortunately, with the concussion. I'm pretty sure he is out. I don't think he's racing at the Roval. So that is the race situation in the playoffs. It's going to be always, you know, stage 1 and 2 with the points is always so interesting. I think it'd be even more interesting if, you know, and more fair if next season they implement the rule of no cautions for the stages during the road course races. It could be only the road course races. NASCAR could do whatever they want. Just no cautions during the road course races when you know, for the stage ends, because it does impact a lot, and it's more fair for the guys who are running well throughout the day to not have to, you know, throw away points because they need track position because of the game of, you know, the caution coming out. So I hope that's a change that's implemented next season. But for this season, it does implement a lot of interesting developments. That's it. No drama, no arguments, no crashes, no fights. Maybe not. You know, what is NASCAR going to do? What is their thumbnail going to be? They can't promote any wrecks. They actually have to promote solid racing for once. So take care of yourself, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Have a great week. Should be a busy October. We are in October, so it should be a pretty busy October. There's you know, a few things on the gaming side that's coming out. The end of the NASCAR playoffs, obviously. I'm going to try and go to Homestead in about 3 weeks' time, so I'll try to go to that race. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your day. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram if you're not already. Hit the like button if you enjoy the video. This might get up a little bit late because it is 5:55 right now, and I need to take the dog to the dog park because it is beautiful weather and he needs to play with some friends. So I might get this video up a little bit late if I don't finish editing in time. You know, by the time I have to take him to the park. So take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Subscribe if you're new. Peace out.